all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. Hey Tuvies, it's Psychic Bob. How you like my witch robes? I thought it's a special occasion today. We got a lot going on. We're almost at Mabon, which we're going to talk about today. And today is also the full moon, and it's a lunar eclipse. Very mystical day. I want to say thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's video, which was Zodiac Thursday. We talked all about the psychic energies that are present now through the zodiac. And if you didn't see that, you need to check it out because it'll give you a lot of insight as to, what's going on right now astrologically and how it can help you. Today is an amazing day. It's the full moon, and today the moon is in Pisces, which of course continues our psychic energy. We also have tonight a lunar eclipse. This is when the moon becomes shadowed over. The sun is in opposition to the moon today, and the earth is between them. So the earth's shadow will be cast on the moon and temporarily darken it. So this is called a lunar eclipse. Now, from a psychic place, this is very fascinating because with a Piscean moon and the moon in eclipse, this really doubly expands psychic power. Today we've got Mercury, which is also being eclipsed at the same time. And Mercury deals with communications. We also have the moon is square, I believe it's square Saturn today. Oops, I forget. Well, it's square another planet. I'm blanking out here. But basically, what's going on is that outer world communications today may be a little crazy. So this is all a sign for you to look within. Focus on the inner light. Focus on meditation, spirituality. This is where success is today. So if you've been wondering why your day feels a little crazy and nobody's connecting with you right, it's that energy. That eclipse energy is all about go within. So here we are. So, it's a wonderful day for us to talk about the upcoming Sabbat of Mabon. And here we are. How do you like my Sabbat altar? I'm going to give you a tour of this later and show you some of the details up close. But for right now, I wanted to talk about the Wheel of the Year. Let me adjust our camera here. Here's our giant wheel that you can see behind me. And all year long, we've been going through the wheel at every Sabbat. And we just had back in August 31st, we had Lammas, which was our last Sabbath. And that was the first harvest festival. And you may remember I changed the altar a little bit. It was still predominantly green. Now we're here at Mabon, which is the second harvest festival. And you'll notice that I have a little more gold color in the altar. Because right now, at least where I live, in this part of the world, gold is the predominant color. The leaves are starting to turn yellow. We haven't had full fall yet. It's just beginning. But here we are at Mabon, the second harvest festival. Now what this means is that, remember, at Yule, the Lord is born. And all through the first half of the year, the Lord was growing into power. And when we got down here to Litha, which is at the bottom of our wheel, it's behind the picture, but here's at this point is Litha. This is where the Lord was at his glory and power. This first half is called the light half of the year. Since Litha, or summer solstice, which was June 21st, we've now seen the Lord's solar power, here's a picture of the sun, start to decline. And so we had Lammas, our first festival, and now we're here at Mabon. Mabon is the equinox. This is where the Sun Lord really starts to lose more power. He's preparing to cross to the spirit world at Samhain. In fact, I thought I'd read to you from Scott Cunningham here a little bit, and this is from his book, Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. This kind of outlines what Mabon Sabbat is about. Okay, so according to Scott Cunningham, who I really like and trust, He says, Mabon, circa September 21st. Actually, this year, just before I started this, according to all the calendars I've been reading, this year it falls on the 22nd technically, because it's when the sun enters Libra, and that will be on the 22nd this year. I always celebrate on the 21st, and most people do. So this book says circa September 21st. The autumn equinox is the completion of the harvest begun at Lughnasadh. Once again, day and night are equal, joined as the god prepares to leave his physical body and begin the great adventure into the unknown, toward renewal and rebirth of the goddess. Nature declines, draws back its bounty, readying for winter and its time of rest. The goddess nods in the weakening sun, though fire burns within her room. She feels the presence of the god even as he wanes. Isn't that beautiful? So that's what this festival is about. The Lord here is literally transitioning. He's transitioning out of the earthly body back into the spirit body. And as we study the cycle of the Lord, we also can realize that we too share in this journey. For example, I myself am in my middle age. I know, can you believe it? And so I'm relating to the Lord as he's aging. I find in my own journey I'm aging. But it's not aging with a sense of despair. It's aging with an awareness that the physical energy, as you get older, gives way to the spiritual energy. And that's what Mabon is about. Now also, this is the time of balance where the daylight hours and the nighttime hours are in equal proportion, 12 and 12. So, what's interesting is from today, or from Mabon actually, which will be this week on the 21st, the power of the darkness will even increase more rapidly. The days will quickly get shorter from here all the way up till Yule time. And so, as the darkness encroaches, this is a time where we can reflect on our spiritual lives. It's a time where we say, let us retreat from the outer activity and let us look within. A lot of deep mysticism is found at this time of year. And so I encourage you to enter into the mystery. For those of you who are new to Wicca and to the craft, who are just starting on this path, I think walking through the cycle of the year will give you a lot of power, a lot of wisdom, a lot of insight. And one of the things that would be, I think, good for you to do now is go outside and find a tree, preferably not an evergreen, a tree that has leaves that change, like an oak tree or a maple tree. And get to know a tree at this time of year. Watch it. Notice how its leaves start to turn, like our picture here. Study the energy. You'll feel that the tree's life force starts to wane at this time of year. You see, the ancients who observed all of these things were very wise people. They knew that life force ebbs and flows. Our modern, materialistic, atheistic world is so out of touch with life force. They just view everything as a monotonous rat race. And many people miss their own connectivity with life because they do not understand how life force works. And so now that we're entering into the second festival, this is the time where we really start to see the change. The leaves will change. They're going to start to fall. And over the next month here, as we get to Samhain, this is where the most dramatic evidence of the Lord's waning power will be seen. So as I said, I invite you to find a tree to study. Find one and stay with one tree. Get to know one tree during this time. And you'll start to understand that cyclical energy of life. Another way that you can participate in these mysteries is to set up a Mabon altar. And that's what I've done here. So I'm going to give you an altar tour. So come on along. Now, one of the major changes that you'll see here at my altar is that before we had predominantly a green surface. And as you can see, I do have the green altar cloth still down here. But now it's been covered over by a beautiful warm gold. This reminds me of the changing leaves of fall. I also have my regular pentacle on here, and I've chosen a wood pentacle because it just seems to match the colors of the season. On here, I've also set a beautiful chalice, a golden chalice. This also brings in that beautiful fall energy, and this will be my chalice for libations. Also unique to this altar is a beautiful leaf dish. This is really lovely. It's made of a metal, like a copper metal, and as you can see, it's really quite lovely. So I've put that also here on my altar to acknowledge the beauty of the fall season. You'll notice that in the back here, I still have the garlic cloves, which are a sign of bounty and harvest, as well as the pentacle made of red peppers. We had those back at Lammas, and they're certainly part of the harvest and part of Mabon as well. Also, take note of this beautiful, beautiful rich green, forest green candle. I've chosen green because there is still green present at this time of year, and it's representative of Lord Pan. I've put this candle in a wonderful Pan candle holder. Isn't this beautiful? Can you see his beautiful face? It's got beautiful Celtic knotwork inside and out. And Pan is actually on 3 faces of this holder. So that's going to sit here to also honor the Lord. And it's perfect to hold this candle. Keeping with the tradition of the Sabbats, I also have beautiful brass solar candlesticks flanking each side of the altar. As you can see, they're really quite lovely. They've started to tarnish somewhat, and I've let each of them just tarnish, because for me, the tarnishing brass is like the waning power of the sun. Its glory is becoming softer and weaker day by day as we head towards the end of the year. You'll notice down here also that I have a beautiful brass incense burner. This, I feel, represents the power of the Lord. And on the other side, I have a beautiful silver bell. Also, the bell is a sign of the Lord, but it's also a sign of the lady. It's the union of the Lord and the lady. And I have that silver to honor the goddess aspect. Its ringing is like her calling us to see the Lord before his passing. And so I keep this beautiful bell here also. Bell and incense. So, Tubies, there is a tour of my Mabon altar. Now, as we go through the rest of the month, I think I'll probably add some more stuff to it. I want to go out and get some cuttings of some beautiful fall leaves, and I'm going to add that into the altar, and we'll add some other things. But you can see for now that this is a wonderful way to start to honor the energy of the Sabbat. As the Lord starts to leave us, we share in the goddess's awareness that things change. You see, this is the beauty of studying something like our Wheel of the Year, because as we learn to go through the Wheel of the Year, we learn how power moves and changes, how that life force ebbs and flows. And so we can share in the beauty of life, the beauty of the life process, by honoring the Sabbats. And even though the goddess knows that the Lord will soon be passing, In her heart, she knows that the Lord will soon be born. And so the God never really dies. He just appears to die. And likewise, none of us really ever truly die. We, like the Lord, transition. And knowing that the Goddess oversees the changes, this will bring us peace. If we know in our hearts that the divine guides us every step of the way throughout this circle, throughout this cycle of life, then we too can have peace and joy. I thank you guys for being here today. I hope this has given you a little bit of insight on Mabon. And, if you make a Mabon altar, maybe you could do a video and show us your altar. I'd sure love to see it. Well, guys, thanks for being here. I love you. Keep it here at Spirit Channel. We'll have more coming. Tomorrow is Saturday, and Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, knock on wood, we'll have our Saturday night seance. I thank you for being here. I love you. Mabon blessings to all of you. And I hope you have a blessed day. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't done so, pop over to my website and get your daily horoscopes. You can read about the eclipse moon and see how that's going to affect you all. So definitely pop over to robert-hickman.com and get your free daily horoscopes. If you guys want to learn more about the Sabbats also, I might encourage you to stop over to rarewiccaspells.com. Lady Angela has fact sheets all about all the Sabbats and rituals as well. So you can pop over there and get stuff to learn. Keep learning and continue your learning. I thank you guys for being here. I love you. Blessed be. We'll see you back here tomorrow.